And here's the key. Your horse's nervous system is designed to mirror yours. They have this survival innate motor neuron difference to us, if that's the right scientific or biology words I can use to keep this as simple without going off too much. They very much instinctively can mirror us a lot better than we mirror them. But fun fact, humans also have this mirroring in us. And I'm sure you've noticed, if you maybe felt good in yourself, you felt like, your normal self, and you walk into a room where you could sense straight away the tension that wasn't created by you, but it was actually in the environment. It was maybe the person taking the talk, and it hit you straight away. And you suddenly went from feeling quite good to feeling a little bit taken back. That's also that mirroring as well. So we also have it as humans, but horses, as always, because of their survival, need to have this mirroring, but from a safety perspective. So this invisible wall problem that I'm talking about, and it's very much the elephant in the room when it comes to really understanding your horse and making sure that every single interaction can feel like progress instead of a battle. If we keep it simple, why doesn't it work every single time? So why can you try and stay calm, and you think, I'm gonna be calm, I'm calm, but you still hit this invisible wall? You can have the best trainer, the best top of the range, expensive saddle, optimal nutrition, but if you get on your horse and he or she gives you this real tension, resistance, you just know something isn't right, then the problem isn't the horse. I know that's quite a hard pill to swallow, and you've spent probably thousands on the external things that might influence your horse's tension, and that is great. Okay, we can never rule out things like ill-fitting tack, or if a horse is in pain, we have to make sure that we are doing the non-negotiables and general checklist of horse management and horse welfare. But if the invisible wall that you keep hitting isn't the training problem, it's a resonance problem. In the next 20 minutes, I'm not just going to explain why this happens, but I'm actually going to give you an exact 3-minute tool that I do and all my clients around the world do to fix it. So this tool creates the soft eye, turns that tight, tense, spooky, distracted horse into your focused, calm, connected partner. So what's really going on here? And I try to keep things as simple as I can, because that's how my brain works. To really retain information, and it's probably the practical side of being a horse girl for most of my life, I like to keep things simple. And it's all about biology. Both you and your horse have a nervous system that operates in 2 basic channels. I'm sure you've heard of these, but let's go through them together. Channel 1 is the sympathetic nervous system. That's your fight or flight mode, and it's the gas pedal. So when you're stressed, anxious, or even just rushed, maybe something's happened, maybe you started your day off calm, but you suddenly feel really stressed, something's triggered you, and your body is flooded with cortisol and with adrenaline, right? We feel it. We can feel that tension come over us. We can feel personally, I feel anxious in my chest, goes tight, my heart rate, I can feel it rising, my muscles actually get tighter. And if I'm riding in this state, I don't know about you, let me know if you resonate, is I get really tight around my hips, my lower back, which then obviously affects my horse because I'm tight. And actually when I jump off the horse and I realize, oh my God, I'm so stiff, right? My breathing, everything becomes really shallow. Now, the second channel, so first we had the sympathetic, the second one is the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's your rest, digest, it kind of breaks, state of calm, connection, and from a therapist perspective, it's where healing really happen. So you cannot operate in both channels. Neither can your horse operate in both channels. We have this similarity despite the difference in the human brain and the horse brain. So you're either on the gas pedal or you're on the brakes. The answer is what I've just said. It's the way that your horse can mirror your nervous state. So us telling ourselves, I'm sure you've come across this so much now in social media of like, just tell yourself to be calm. I'm calm, I'm calm, I'm calm, I'm calm. But subconsciously or underneath, you know you're not calm. You are lying to yourself. And I'm sure you know this as well, because I've done this many times, trying different tools and techniques of telling myself I'm calm, or maybe it's attracting clients. I'm not going to tell myself that the whole time if I don't actually believe it. Horses are prey animals and designed over millions of years to detect things like changes in a heartbeat or the muscle tension. It just creates this shift in energy even from miles away. They have this emotional mirror and they never ever lie. It's genuinely why I love horses so much, because even on the days when maybe I don't want to hear the truth, I don't want to feel the truth, and I'd rather just get on with things because I've got a to-do list and I'm in my head, not in my heart, I'd rather get on with it. They have this amazing way of mirroring that back. So we can have the best trainer, the best saddle and the best nutrition, but if we bring the static of high pressure life, whether it's in our corporate role, whether it's our family stress, trauma, the mental load of our work, which is affecting our body as much as our mind. A lot of us get stuck in our mental patterns and thoughts. But if we can't shut this off when we go into our body and describe the sensations we're feeling, I hear a lot of us say things like, my breathing was more shallow. I've had too much coffee today and I've had the caffeine jitters, or I'm just feeling really tight. Maybe I'm on my period and I'm feeling a little bit low and I'm in pain and my lower back is sore. This transfers into the saddle or into the groundwork that we're doing with our horse. And for our horses, who are these prey species, it kind of broadcasts to them on like, danger, danger, maybe 100 decibels compared to what we're actually feeling. So the physical aids, our hands, legs, might just be whispering, okay, relax, relax, relax. But the body, the biology, the cells, our nervous system is actually screaming, run. So can you see how, the words we say don't really matter to the state that we're in and our state of our nervous system. And the horses, they can mirror this and they reflect it so perfectly. Like, as I said, even on the days that you maybe just don't want to hear it, you don't want to feel it, you don't want to work through it on that day. So when you are disconnected and your horse becomes tense, and when you are anxious, maybe your horse is more spooky. Warwick Schiller, an amazing horseman, I've seen him live, describes it as when you're on a hack, it's like the rabbit test. So clients will say, well, I'm really frustrated because my horse will be fine with like lorries going by, tractors, bunnies, pigeons jumping out of the bushes, and then all of a sudden, like the 20th bunny, and he then overreacts and bolts and I fall off. Like, what's wrong with my horse? And you think, well, maybe it's because he has a very high tolerance of stress and noise going on, and it's just that final bit, it could have been a bunny, it could have even been a truck, just pushed him over the edge and his nervous system couldn't cope with it. I'm sure you're the same. Think about it for yourself, right? There's certain times of the month that I can actually feel very calm and I can take on a lot more stress from the world, right? From family, from traffic, from clients, from whatever. Like, I can take it on more and I can just absorb it more, but also just not hang on to it. And then there's probably the later phases of my cycle where I can get the same amount of stress and noise coming in, but I feel like I just want to cry, curl up on a sofa, or maybe punch someone, right? It happens with all of us as well. And the secret when we are like this actually isn't more training, it's not a new strategy, it's not a new saddle, and it isn't even something, it's like most of us go for that new strategy. It must be a different supplement. I must find something external to put internal to make this thing go away, to fix it. We cannot demand peace from our horses. We have to embody it. And having worked with horses for all of my life, 37 years, the more I embody it and I go first, so it starts with my state, what do? This is my 3-minute reset. I call it box breathing. So how do we do it? How do we consciously switch from the gas pedal being on at 100 miles an hour to taking off the foot off the brake and slowing down? You know, we've got stuff to do. We can't just go and sit in the field with our horses and do nothing. We might want to do that some days and have a good cry, and that's great. But if we have things to do, how do we reset our nervous system? However, it has worked with hundreds of female riders around the world. We use our breath. Your breath, my breath, is a remote control to our nervous system. Powerful tool of breath work called box breathing. Navy SEALs use this to stay calmer under pressure. We're going to use it to get that soft eye before a dressage test. Here's how it works. Okay, we're going to breathe in. If you close your eyes for this, you can breathe in for the count of 4, hold for the count of 4, breathe out for the count of 4, and then hold for the count of 4. So visually in your mind's eye, you're going to see a box appear, and each box, the side of the box, has 4 counts. You don't have to do this for 3 minutes, but if you can, it will really have a big effect on your nervous system. I do this in the car, in between appointments. I do this when I'm feeling a little bit anxious before a ride. It really, really helps. If you're super busy, do it whilst you're grooming. Do it before you get into the saddle with your horse. I've even worked with clients where we're doing this whilst they're in the saddle before they start their session and their training and they pick up the reins. So let's actually just do this together. Find a really comfortable position with your back nice and straight. Close your eyes. Just relax your shoulders. Put your hands maybe on the top of your thighs. Close your eyes, and we're going to do this together. So we're going to inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale at your mouth. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. That's one cycle. Go again. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. You can press pause and keep going. See how you feel once you stop. As you continue to do this on your own, really want you to notice what's happening in your body. How's your heart rate? Has it slowed down? How are the tension in the shoulders, your lower back? Do you feel it's starting to release? You are manually turning off that adrenaline switch and going into that second channel of the parasympathetic nervous system. And you're starting to tell your body, your breath, that you're safe. And when we're safe, the horse can feel that safety and mirror it back. We just have to go first. You might be thinking, really, Nika, breathing, that's the big secret? And yes and no, breathing is one tool. The real magic really starts is awareness. And the moment you stop blaming the horse and start looking at the signal that you're broadcasting, this isn't just about getting better transitions, maybe improving the canter, maybe you want to improve your horse's suppleness. It's actually about releasing resilience, releasing tension. And when you learn to regulate your breathing, your own nervous system, when you start to feel anxious or you feel confused or frustrated or tense, you can even do this in the car. Like I said, I sometimes do it in the car between appointments. I notice that I stop reacting and I actually start leading. I'm more grounded, I'm more focused, and this work doesn't just change that treatment for me or that ride for my client. it actually influences their entire day. They notice changes in their relationships, in their interactions with others. And the partnership, the connection with the horse, the more you do this, becomes almost telepathic. It just starts with a simple choice: to stop, to breathe, and to clear that static before you start to ask your horse a question. Your horse, you know this, isn't being naughty, they're communicating. And when we start with ourselves, we're inviting each other, the horse, to become the partner, to mirror us instead of being distracted, struggling with focus, lacking the motivation, and not wanting to be with you because they just don't feel safe. So here's your homework. For the next 7 days, I want you to practice the box breathing exercise before you get on your horse, before you work your horse. That's it. Don't change anything else. Keep everything the same. Just change that one variable and see what happens. Look at the eyes. Look and see if you can see any blinking, any licking and chewing, a change in their diaphragm, their breath, their rib cage. These are all the subtle signs that the nervous system is syncing in with yours. Look for that soft eye. The simple reset is the very first thing that I teach my clients that work with me in the 8-week horse and rider reset. Now, if you're a driven equestrian woman and you are ready to go beyond these quick tips, fixes, things that only last short term, and completely rebuild the connection with your horse from the ground up, if you want to learn how to turn off that static and actually learn how to release it, we go deep into the physiology of both yourself, your horse, to create consistency, that telepathic connection that you've been searching for. And if this sounds like you, comment horse and rider below and I'll send you through the application. We go live on the 22nd of February this year and I look forward to seeing you there. If you found this useful, don't forget to give me a follow and a subscribe.